Welcome back to Adventures of a Black Belt Sommelier, sponsored by Four Paws Restaurant, the iconic fine dining restaurant in St. Paul, Minnesota, with, as you can see behind me, a very beautiful wine cellar, which is also a private dining room. And we also have wonderful food and ton of professional service located in a beautifully restored 18th mansion built in 1870. Last Saturday night, a party of six brought some wine from their wine cellar to have with dinner in our restaurant. And it made me think about what is actually the proper etiquette for bringing your own wine to a restaurant. This group actually brought three bottles. Now they were fairly nice wines. They weren't, you know, first growth Bordeaux, but they were. There was a bottle of J. Schramm sparkling wine from California, which is very, very nice, one of the finest California sparkling wines. A bottle of Alpha Omega Chardonnay, which is a beautiful wine, and a Washington State Red Blend. So there were three nice wines. They didn't. I don't believe they just stopped off at the liquor store to pick up a bottle of inexpensive bottle of wine to bring with them to save money. I think these were actually wines that that they hope to really enjoy. Three special bottles that they enjoyed. Hope to enjoy with dinner. But here is my advice on how to properly execute bringing your own wine to dinner in a nice restaurant. The most first thing you do is to call and ask if it's accepted and what is the corkage fee. You know, some restaurants charge $25. That seems to be the norm. We charge 45 at Four Paws, but we have a lot of wine. We have a lot of money invested in a wine in our wine list and in this beautiful wine cellar. Some restaurants charge $100. Some restaurants charge more than that. So it's good to know, number one, if you walk in with wine, are you going to be welcomed to have brought your own wine? And what is the corkage fee going to be? So you're not surprised. The second thing I would say is, again, as I just referenced, the appropriate uh, strategy is that you are bringing something that is special, that has meaning to you, that is not just an attempt to save money by stopping off at a liquor store and getting an inexpensive bottle of wine that you can have dinner that even with a corkage fee would cost less than you would have spent on a bottle of wine in the restaurant. That's offensive. That is not appropriate. In my opinion, that's not appropriate. The next thing I would say is if there's a sommelier, should offer him or her a taste of the wine or the wines that you brought. Often, if it's really special wine and you offer the sommelier a taste of the wine, they will waive the corkage fee. But the truth is, generosity is a good thing. If there's not a sommelier, find somebody, the manager, the owner, your server, if the server's interested in wine, and share a taste of the wine with that person. Again, generosity pays you back many times over, generally, in my experience in life. If there's a sommelier and the sommelier treats your wine the same way he would have treated wine you ordered from the wine list in the restaurant, as I did Saturday night, think about it. There were six people. I brought six white wine glasses for the J. Schramm. We don't use flutes. I brought six white wine glasses for the Chardonnay. I brought six red wine glasses for the Washington State Red. I decanted the Washington State Red. I poured all three wines. They didn't have to pick up the bottle or the decanter. I brought marble sleeves for the bottles to go in to keep the white wines cool. That's a lot of work on a Saturday night in a full restaurant for me. They never said thank you. The only thing anybody at the table said to me was, "Boy, we're keeping you busy." Well, yeah, they were right. They did keep me busy. Say thank you. Show some appreciation for the attention you're receiving from the sommelier. And I would say one way of showing appreciation for the attention you're receiving from the sommelier is a gratuity. But certainly, it would be a nice thing to say thank you. The other thing is when you get the bill and you decide how much you're going to tip, assume you're going to tip 20%. This is my opinion. This is what I do when I take wine to restaurants, which I don't so much do anymore, but I used to do a lot. If the bill's $500, let's assume like this party, they brought 3 bottles of wine. If the bill's $500, including the corkage fee, I add $100 to the bill for each bottle of wine I brought to calculate the gratuity. So if the bill's $500 and I brought 3 bottles of wine, I would tip 20% of $800. 500 plus 100 plus 100 plus 100, or $160. Because the server is depending on that table, especially on a Saturday night. The server is feeding his or her family, paying his or her rent based on their ability to generate income from that table. And if you hadn't been sitting at that table, somebody else would have. They wouldn't have brought their own wine, and they would have tipped on the wine they ordered in the restaurant. So that's in my opinion what the proper etiquette for bringing wine into a restaurant is. Call in advance, find out what the corkage fee is. Offer the sommelier, if there is one, a taste of the wines. If there's not a sommelier, offer the owner of the restaurant or the manager of the restaurant or your server, if he or she is interested in wine, a taste of the wines. Say thank you, show appreciation. If there's a sommelier, the sommelier handles your wine with professionalism, reward him or her for that, and tip generously. Thank you for tuning in again for Adventures of a Black Belt Sommelier. We appreciate it, and I hope you'll come by and see me at the Four Paws restaurant sometime soon. This week, we're going to have an absolutely sensational Pinot Noir open, pouring by the glass. It's called Domenico. It's from Mendoza, Argentina. It's sensational. You can come by and have a glass of that with us if you'd like. Thank you so much.